All right, so the other big story of the day, very important one developing, is the Hindenburg research, which has received a show cause notice from SEBI regarding alleged violations tied to their report on Adani Enterprises. SEBI suspects misrepresentation in this report, which led to a significant drop in Adani Group's market cap last year. Ankur joins us with the latest on this, and then we'll also be joined by InGovern to talk more and analyze this very important story which is developing. Ankur, what exactly is Hindenburg's response to SEBI's show cause notice in this Adani matter?
Yes, Hindenburg Research has received a 46-page show cause notice from SEBI. But let us understand what is this show cause notice. Now, this notice says that short selling activity was observed in Adani Enterprise Limited prior to the release of the report. And remember, Adani Enterprise Limited, if you take the date-wise comparison from 24th of January till February 22, it fell 59%. Now, what is the scope of SEBI investigation? SEBI is saying that it is probing PFUTP, meaning Prohibition of Unfair Trade Practices Act, and also SEBI Research Analyst Act, that is of 2014. Both these charges are probed. Now let us understand date-wise what exactly happened. In November 2022, you would remember that Adani Enterprise Limited board had approved the idea of FPO, and finally on 18th of January, FPO was decided to be launched. Now remember, on 25th of January, this report came, and after that there is a name, K India Opportunities Fund. This was registered in SEBI as FPI to make positions in Adani Enterprise Limited. Now SEBI is saying that this fund made a short position prior to the release of the report, and as soon as this report was launched, after that a handsome profit of 183 crore was made by K India Opportunities Fund. Now, I have told you that there are allegations that SEBI is suspecting that prior to the release of the report, a draft report was circulated with one of the clients, which finally took shareholding of K India Opportunities Fund, and they made handsome profits here. SEBI is conducting investigation from November 1, 2022 till February 28, 2023. Now, as far as Hindenburg Research is concerned, they are saying it is an open secret that they had a short position in Adani Enterprise Limited, and therefore this report has a preconceived notion. In fact, they call it nonsense concocted to serve preordinate purpose and attempt to silence the fraudulent practices which is occurring in India. That is the allegations which is leveled by Hindenburg Research.
Good, but you know, the other very interesting part which is coming out in this entire, Shriram will also join us in a moment from now from InGovern, but before that, Ankur, Kotak Bank's name has also emerged into this case for allegedly setting up an offshore fund which was used to short Adani stocks. What is this entire matter? And Kotak is actually, trading quite under pressure, almost 3.5–4%. What's Kotak's role here?
So Hindenburg Research is saying that, if you remember the name, K India Opportunities Fund, this K stands for Kotak as per Hindenburg. In fact, they are leveling charges against SEBI that they have deliberately not named Uday Kotak's name in this report, which is the only India connection in this report. They are saying that SEBI has failed to name Kotak Bank in its observations, while SEBI seemingly tied itself knots to calm jurisdiction over us. Its notice conspicuously failed to name the party that has actual ties to India. So this K India Opportunities Fund, according to them, has the Kotak connection, and SEBI has allegedly not named in this show cause notice which has been sent to Hindenburg Research.
Hold on, stay with us, Ankur. This is a very important story developing. Almost 4% down is what Kotak is trading at right now. Shriram is joining us from InGovern. Shriram, let's go in reverse order. The point which Ankur actually raised, the role of Kotak. What do you read of the detail which have come out so far?
I would find it strange and almost unbelievable if Kotak is actually a party to it. Kotak would likely be acting as a just a creator of a fund where someone else's funds are used. Kotak Bank may have acted as a conduit, as a commercial bank. So there is nothing wrong in it, right? I mean, as long as they have done proper KYC of the investor or of the entity which has set up this fund or has invested this money and routed the money through the Kotak Bank or the Kotak fund itself. So Kotak as an entity or one of the Kotak Bank's subsidiaries, which is the Kotak International, this one with the name, that I think is just a fee charging entity. Kotak Mahindra Investment Limited could just be a fee charging entity. And I don't think there is any maleficence by Kotak itself. I would find it very hard to believe that.
Well, now the details are coming out that apparently Hindenburg made about $4 million from this entire shorting. But I'll go back to that point, Sriram. You understand the regulatory framework very closely. When Supreme Court has given a clean sheet to Adani and instructed SEBI to probe entities involved in short casing, under that process, which was actually prescribed by Supreme Court, SEBI actually sent out a show cause notice. And now Hindenburg is actually putting all of that out in public. How do you see this process?
I guess to some extent, Hindenburg is an unregulated entity as far as SEBI is concerned. Two is obviously Hindenburg is in wrong to some extent, at least by taking on the regulator and directly naming them and directly accusing them also, more than just naming or putting out a bland letter and saying that we received a show cause notice. Hindenburg is directly taking on the regulator, SEBI in this case. As you rightly pointed out, SEBI was under instructions by Supreme Court to probe the short sellers. Two is SEBI is still, it is also to be noted that SEBI's investigations in the Adani Group are still not conclusive. In that sense, they have not yet put out any report or come out with conclusive to the Adani investigations itself. So that is also ongoing. So that doesn't mean that both the investigations of the short selling as well as of Adani Group cannot happen in parallel. They could, and that's the reason I think this show cause notice has been issued by SEBI because of the directions of Supreme Court also.
Right, Sriram, we'll let you go on that one. Clearly, I mean, bulk of the story for shareholders is now over because stocks have recovered. So, many of the allegations, high leverage, all of that already been addressed by the promoters. But of course, now it is interesting what would have triggered Hindenburg actually bring out and show that show cause notice out in the public. SEBI is a regulated and well-respected regulator, and of course, it is doing the investigation under instructions from Supreme Court. That needs to be taken into account. We'll take a short break on that note, come back for more news and analysis on the other side.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.